started.
Candle maker. Okay. Let's see. Let's kick off with e4. See what we get. c6. The Caro-Kann. Okay, knight a6. That's an unusual way of playing it. Let's see. Can I play the move f4 here? The queen's not coming out to give me a check. Why don't I just get the 3 pawns attack going here? And castle kingside. So black is making lots of pawn moves. Eventually, this may be a problem, but not yet. Not yet. I need to find a way to kind of open things up to take advantage. And, well, my pieces are not all out. The bishop and knight still need to be developed. But if I play f5 now, he can take and I can take. Might be an interesting way to try and get us some open lines here. And we are near his king. His pieces don't look that effectively developed just yet. This bishop is hitting on a pretty solid pawn here. He's blockading. He has opened the G file, so he can potentially think of counterattacks along the G file. Let's see. If I bring the bishop out, he's got knight to knight to g4. If I bring the bishop to e3, if I bring the bishop to f4, he's got knight here or here. Then I could move the bishop back. I think I want to get the bishop out so I can get my knight into the game. See if he's tempted with one of these knight moves. Yeah, he goes for that one. Okay, well, with the knight there, we can just drop back. Maybe he just drops back too, so maybe that didn't accomplish anything. So this knight is a problem piece. Knight a3 to c2, maybe. There's a way to get it out. Knight a3, knight c2, knight e3. It would help defend this pawn. Yeah, okay. So I could repeat moves, but I guess I won't. Maybe a rook on the e file. I opened up the e file. Maybe I should take advantage of that. Okay, he's piling up on the f-pawn. That's interesting. So let's defend it. That was the other idea of knight e3, was the knight defends the f-pawn here. Now we could play some knight to d5. Takes. I still have queen here. Queen to c2 to defend the pawn, or moving this knight. It's not that hard to defend that advanced f-pawn. Although this may have helped him a little bit in the sense that he's got a knight. He had 2 knights for the same square, and I traded one of them off, so gave his knight a good square. But now I can play c4 here, and where's the knight going? Here, 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 and here, covered by the bishop. So there, just back where it came from, or to g6. And I have pawn to b2 here to defend the c pawn. And my knight on f3 is holding on to my d pawn, so that's not yet threatened. Yes, we just went back there. Let's get the rook onto the d file. This other rook might come to the e file. I want to support this d pawn. The bishops may need to move. Okay, oh, he's going that way. So how about pawn to c5. He just closes it up. It kind of opens up the the queen side for me as an avenue of attack. Say, for example, queen to a4 and bishop to a5, hitting along this diagonal would be interesting. Yeah, so he closed it up. The queen's defending this pawn, the knight's defending this pawn, the bishop's defending this pawn, so I'm still holding on to everything. So what does he do about bishop to a5, hitting the queen and the rook? The pawn comes forward, I can just take it. Pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn. At least opens up the... it does open up the a file for me, and maybe I can lift a rook. Lift a rook over here. And I also have this other bishop that can come to a6. Or he could drop his queen back and give up the exchange. Okay, he does that. What's the queen threatening over here? Anything? Not yet. Well, knight here would threaten mate. Always have to watch out for that. And I can meet that threat with g3. The rook is defending the knight. Pawn to g3 would chase the queen away. He is threatening the pawn. Okay, so let's grab the rook.
Check.
Oh, he wants to give the check first. How do I want to defend that? I thought he could just take the pawn or play knight to knight g4. So if the king goes to the corner, knight g4 to... yeah, so if rook here, knight g4 is a problem. So king has to go to the corner. But if knight g4, now I have queen to c2 to defend. I need to defend the c2 square here. Well, let's start. Now let's start by, I was thinking maybe I should chase the queen away first, but the queen just goes back to f4, and he still has a lot of threats here. So queen on c2 defends the bishop, and prepares rook, the d-rook to the e-file, d-rook, rook d1 to e1. And I'm looking at the pawn behind the queen. Okay, so he brings his knight in there. That's not bad, but it's not yet threatening the check here, because I have rook takes. Rook takes, and my knight is still defending my rook, so I think he needs to move his queen here. It's one of those neat tricks. A rook takes here, check, lifts this rook up and leaves this one undefended, but my knight was defending it. Okay, so now I can grab this knight. Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Maybe queen takes. He does have, at the end of this, he has bishop takes f5 here. So if I play rook takes, he plays bishop takes f5. I have rook takes queen. Bishop takes queen. That's good for me. So probably queen takes. Queen takes f5. Yeah, maybe I should have taken with the queen anyway. Let's bring my queen over here. I'm defending my rook. Defending both rooks, actually. and I'm threatening the pawn here, and I'm threatening some kind of discovery with this knight. Knight to... knight to e5 looks like a good discovery on the queen. It would hit the bishop. So I think I'm holding it together. He can just play. He can just play d6 there to defend along the, or e6, I guess that is, to defend along the e file. Bishop e6. Okay, that works too. So knight here. Knight here, hitting the queen. Where does the queen move to? Now, the queen has squares. Knight here, hitting the queen, and he just takes it. So my discoveries are not so great here. Okay, I'm just defending my a pawn, putting up a and b like this. His bishop was hitting those guys. If he wants to force some trades, that's okay. Bishop to d5, rook takes e7 is my plan. Let's see, he's got a bishop and a rook pointing at my e pawn, but I have a knight and a rook defending it. So far so good. It would be nice if I had a discovery, something useful to do with this knight, but yeah, I don't see it. Okay, so rook takes e7. Bishop takes knight. There's queen here, check. If I take back with the rook. So rook takes e7, bishop takes knight, queen takes knight, and he gets this pawn. I still think that's okay. Just have to make sure I don't get mated. So if bishop takes, I have to take with the queen and not with the rook. I don't want to allow that check. I don't want to allow that check on the back rank. His bishops really are pretty good pieces. He could trade off the bishop and just grab the grab my d pawn here. Bishop takes knight, queen takes knight. Oh, he's got to do something about his queen. So queen takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop or rook takes on d4. I'll still be up the exchange though, and I'll have two rooks, and I'll have time to make lift for my king. Ah, so he wants to trap my rook. That's interesting. So now maybe I can use this discovery against the queen to do something useful. Knight here, queen moves. And well, maybe I'll take on f7. The queen goes somewhere to attack my rook. Maybe I have to play rook takes f7. Bishop takes, and then knight takes. That still should be good for me, right? Yeah, he's hitting my rook. The rook is trapped. I can take the bishop, but then he just takes back. So I thought, take the pawn. Bishop takes, knight takes. Knight takes, oh, that's nice. I didn't see this. Bishop takes, knight takes. The knight forks the rook and the queen. So I'm actually not even giving the exchange back, which I thought I was. Thought I was giving the exchange back for a pawn, and I was just going to play an even position where I was up a couple of pawns. But I think there's no way for him to escape the loss of the exchange back. So I'll have queen and rook against queen and bishop and a couple extra pawns. Should be winning. I have this check along the diagonal, but he's always been guarding it. His bishop is guarding this square. My pawn here is still under attack. But yeah, he's got to do something about the attack on his queen.
Black resigns.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point to resign, I guess, although the game could go on from
Incoming
here.
challenge.
Anyway, I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.